Details from last night's town council meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, August 14th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mantle. The Barnstable Senior Center's Adult Supportive Day program continues to operate after it was nearly shuttered earlier this year due to financial reasons. Director of Senior Services Madeline Noonan updated Town Council during its meeting last night on efforts to expand the program and ensure its financial viability.
So thanks to all of your support, the program did not close. We have continued operations seamlessly. Donna Burns, our assistant director, is here passing out, just for your information, a little handout. And on that, which I will go through very briefly, is just some facts and figures currently, just to give you a sense of where we are with attendance. Also, we'll go over just a little bit of a marketing outline, because I know that was brought up, what we're doing to promote the program and increase the awareness. So just quickly to go over for July, this was for the month of July, we had 22 service days, and we had 141 units of service. That's really how we come up with our numbers. And that averaged out at about 6 clients per day, which is very on the low end. Now, we do understand that we're trying to build the program back up. So with that being said, you can see here that we have 22 actual clients. They are unique individuals that are attending the program, but not everybody comes every day. And so that was part of the challenge that we found ourselves with declining numbers and enrollment. You can see down here that we have only one client is currently attending the program 5 days a week. And due to health issues, as we discussed before, given the frailty and health conditions of the clients, we can't expect that they will make it every day as scheduled. We have one client that comes 4 days a week. The majority of clients are attending either 2 or 3 days a week, and 2 is the preference at this time. So what does that mean in terms of financial impact? Well, our fee structure, we have a 3-tier sliding fee scale. It goes from $35 to $40 to $48 a day is the higher end. The clients that do receive financial support through elder services get reimbursed for $40 a day. That's the contract that we have. And there is no sign of that changing. That's the reimbursement they do for any day program on the Cape area, which they cover. And we can't charge any difference. The $40 is what it is. So when we look at our monthly income and we average it out, we're bringing in an average of $41 a day. With the cost, the staffing cost, it's broken down just so you can see the different expenses, but obviously the majority of it is staffing. It's costing us per client per day $75. So essentially there's a $34 a day per client subsidy that is currently being covered to maintain the program.
Noonan says that Senior Center staff will continue to promote the Adult Supportive Day program. Hyannis will soon have more rental apartments. Town Council approved plans for the renovation of a building on Elm Avenue that will add 5 to 6 new housing units. Developer David Dumont talked about his plans and urged councilors to support the proposal.
I'm an electrician by trade, and I'm also a small-time real estate developer. Currently, we own approximately 35 units of mixed-use residential and commercial spaces that we manage in-house. And a little bit of history on the building. As you probably already know, 30 Elm Avenue. Joanne wrote read Elm Street, but it's actually Elm Avenue. It used to be occupied by the police department many years ago. And when the police department grew out of it and they moved, it was leased to a gentleman. And once that term was up, I was fortunate enough to win the bid on RFP and bought the building approximately 13, 14 years ago. And immediately when I bought the building, I was approached by a health center, and they rented that building from me, and they have occupied it ever since. Approximately a year ago, they've outgrown the building, and they moved to another location. So I've had the building for lease for a year, and I've been approached by several agencies to rent or either buy the building, but I didn't really think the uses were appropriate. So, based on the 2014 housing needs assessment and my personal experience in the town, it's been brought to my attention, and I know that, we need units, residential units in the town. And if I was, by right, I can do 5, and by special permit, 6. But if we only did 6, then it would become a mixed-use type building because there is enough space for 9. So, so I'm here today asking you folks to vote favorably on the agreement in front of you.
After some discussion, Town Council approved those plans by a unanimous vote. A grant will help pay for a new electric vehicle being used by the Barnstable Senior Center. Director of Senior Services Madeline Noonan says the Friends of the Barnstable Senior Center have offered to make the monthly lease payment.
So a couple of months I was here before you to let you know that we were adding a Nissan Leaf to our Silver Express transportation program at the Senior Center as really a cost savings measure to make sure that our transportation program continues to be sustainable and affordable. And our friends at the time, the Friends of the Barnstable Council on Aging, were generous enough to agree to the down payment, which was about $1,153. At that time, the decision was made that we were going to make the monthly payments, but they have generously stepped in and said, you know what? We love this idea, it's something different, and we want to support it completely. So they have agreed to take on the payments. Basically, it's a monthly payment for 36 months, and they will be gifting to the town through the Senior Services Division $3,991. So that means that we do not pay a penny for this vehicle, which will be providing transportation services for the next 3 years to many seniors, and everybody loves it. I don't know if any of you have seen it around town, but it's my transportation coordinator, Judy Rudd, is absolutely in love with this vehicle, as are all of the seniors who have taken a trip in it so far. And it's great because not all seniors need handicapped accessible transportation, and our vans get about 8 miles to the gallon. And I think we've done about 600 miles on this, and it's cost like $25 or something. And we have our solar array, which is basically providing the energy to fuel it. So we're also fortunate that we have, as part of the grant that we worked with Richard Elric on, 2 charging stations were installed at the Senior Center, so we can charge it on site. And a couple of weeks ago, we were thrilled to look out and see that we had somebody who came to the Senior Center and charged their vehicle. So that's an added benefit for anyone out there, that you can stop by and charge up at the Senior Center.
The council voted unanimously to accept the nearly $4,000 grant. 4 private roads will receive some much-needed repairs. The Town Council Roads Subcommittee spent several months reviewing policy and procedure to find a way to make repairs to several private roads. DPW Director Dan Santos presented plans to classify 4 roadways as common-use roads.
This item and the 3 subsequent are all the same, and my comments will relate to those. And this is basically satisfying an administrative requirement. After the good work of your Roads Committee last year, the state legislature acted and allowed us to repair certain private roads under a couple of conditions that are in that act. One is that you appropriate the funds, which you did with our FY16 capital improvement program in the spring. And the second is that the town council make a declaration of common usage. And common usage in the act is defined, and it basically is a road or any portion thereof that has been commonly used by the general public for a period of at least 20 consecutive years for travel directly from one public road or area to another public road or area. I have established and determined that this road and the 3 following on your agenda do meet that criteria, and I recommend that you, in fact, declare them in common usage so that we can proceed to repair them this fall.
And council voted unanimously to add a common use designation to Old Strawberry Hill Road in Centerville, High Street in West Barnstable, Mary Dunn Road in Barnstable, and Wakeby Road in Marston's Mills that will allow the town to fund repairs to those roadways. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On Monday's show, we will chat with Town Manager Tom Lynch. We'll talk with Interim Superintendent of Schools Bill Butler. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.